Hey everyone, it's Kyle from Books and Boards. I sell used board games on eBay and Amazon, at least for another month and a half. I'll get to that in a second. And I sell the games with my wife and my dad. Also, my wife does our Facebook page, so go over there and check that out. Um, Today is going to be kind of my weekly recap from last week. It's just going to be quick, just some numbers, just so that I like to keep track of those. Last week we listed 130 games and we sold 91 games, so we were a little up on the number of listings we made, but then we were a little down on what sold. And our gross profit per game was $11.44. So we're kind of right at where the average was for the gross profit per game. So not a bad week. Obviously, we're trying to get that up. I've said in previous videos that my goal is 30 a day, which is 210 for the week. So I was still under my goal. The previous week, I had only listed 106. So I managed to get that up a little bit. I'm hoping this week I can get up to that 210. But as I'm about to explain, it's going to be hard this week, and I'll tell you why right now. Yesterday morning, woke up to an email from Amazon telling everyone who sells used or collectible toys or games will no longer to be able to do so as of yesterday, as of the day of the email. So that was a nice surprise. Basically, the gist of the email was that starting 9/15, which was yesterday, there are no more used or collectible toys or games on Amazon. They're not going to let you list anything new there. And then starting October 30th, it won't even be available anymore. So you can sell through your inventory until October 30th. Starting on October 30th, though, they will go away. Anything you have listed still will no longer be available for sale. We've been selling board games, used collectible board games on Amazon for the past 5 years now. That's kind of what started this whole board game journey, reselling journey for us. I'm not going to say that I wasn't kind of expecting this. I just wasn't expecting it to happen right now before Q4. Amazon has been making a lot of changes over the past few years, and all signs have kind of pointed towards them getting out of the used market, not allowing used things on their marketplace anymore. I did get an email about a month or two ago talking about toy compliance. They've done it before. A couple years ago, there was a big compliance sweep of Amazon listings, and we had to send back a bunch of games. A bunch of listings got taken down because obviously when you're dealing with older collectible games that aren't that are not being produced anymore, it's very difficult to come up with those compliance documents. So when I got that email like a month or two ago, I was like, oh, here it comes. There's going to be a few more games are going to have to go away. So we'll just have to be prepared for that. We've been through it before. So I was not expecting this level of change to our business. There was also a few months ago, there was what I call the monopoly apocalypse on Amazon. They all of a sudden gated Monopoly, anything branded Monopoly on Amazon. Now, Monopoly is probably the most common game that we sell, and so that wiped out a lot of our Amazon inventory. So things have just kind of been adding up. So I kind of knew that this was coming. I just didn't realize it was going to come this soon. Amazon accounts for a third of our business. Up until we got suspended in February, it actually accounted for 2/3 of our business. So when we got suspended, it was a big deal, and it forced us to shift a lot to eBay, which now in hindsight was a good thing, because we've managed to really ramp up our eBay. We've gotten better at eBay. We've learned how to market our business a little bit better. because of that shift to eBay, where it's a lot easier to do that. But still, it's about a third of our business that now will just be gone. And especially right before Q4, it's a little disturbing. It kind of put me into a spiral yesterday, just trying to think of, okay, well, what do we do now? When we got suspended in February, we stopped doing FBA, which is where you send it to Amazon's warehouses. And again, silver lining, I'm glad that happened, because if we still had FBA inventory right now, we would have to start sending all of that back. And they charge like $2 to $3 per item that you're sending back, which is ridiculous. So I'm glad that everything is here. Nothing's in their warehouses, so we don't have to worry about that. But we have about 300 plus active listings on Amazon right now, and hopefully we can sell through most of that by the end of October. But essentially, we now have 300 extra games, and I used to be able to consider that, okay, we can put one copy of a game on Amazon and one copy of a game on eBay, so we could actually essentially double up on a lot of games in terms of offering it to people. We could offer one on Amazon and one on eBay, so we could keep two in stock. Obviously, that's going to change now. It's only going to be one. So a lot of our back stock is going to be sitting for a while, unless I make some big price cuts on eBay. What are we going to do going forward? And what should other people do? I have no idea. There's about 20 to 30 regular used board game sellers on Amazon that I've seen. I see the names on a regular basis when I'm listing and whatnot. I don't know what people are going to do. Fortunately, we have eBay. I don't know that most of these sellers have eBay stores. I'm sure some of them do. Fortunately, we have that we can fall back on. But otherwise, we still have. That's, like I said, it's a third of our revenue is just gone now. And we've tried a Shopify store in the past. We're talking about getting that back and listing games there, listing game pieces there. There's a few things in the works that we're talking about doing with our booksnboardus.com Shopify store. And I think that's kind of the direction we're headed. Obviously, we can expand our eBay presence beyond board games, which I've kind of already started doing. I've just gotten into some other toys, some other game-like items, such as like Legos and things that you can sell as a complete set, or you can part out, which is modeled after our board games and board game pieces. And it fits in with our inventory process. There's also other platforms. We tried Mercari this year for a few months, and it was not for us. I'm not in the constantly having to re-up your listing or boost your listing constantly to get it seen. That is just not the game I like to play. I much rather have. I would rather do just a flat promotion fee like eBay offers, and just focus on listing more stuff. I don't want to sit there every morning trying to reduce my price and boost my listing to make it go to the top, and that's just not my style. So I don't know that other platforms are for us. I know some other people like that kind of thing, like Mercari, but that's not for us. So we're probably going to keep expanding eBay, kind of venture into other toy categories, and then revamp our Shopify and get that going again. That's probably where we're headed. I don't know if anyone else has any ideas, or if there are any board game sellers who happen upon this video, if you're going to do something different. But I'd love to hear it. Leave some comments down below. That's what we're thinking. Anyway, so today that's where I'm at. I gotta get some things figured out. and see how we're going to move forward through this, especially right before Q4. Yeah, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Check us out on Facebook. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, ask a question, all those things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's just gonna be. Bleh.